What's up, everybody? It's your boy Stevie the Blacks, STEVEE, the Black. I'm back, and see, when did I talk to y'all? Last Friday. So it's only been a couple of days, but yo, it's good to be back, y'all. It's good to be back. Um, so obviously, I'm here to talk about the Eagles and Giants predictions video. But before I get into that, there are a couple things that I need to talk about that I know you guys have talked about, but I want to give my own opinion on, right? So first things first, Brett Favre's comments, right? Brett Favre's comments on First Take, where we all know they love to bash Carson Wentz on the show. And I have not been the biggest Carson Wentz supporter this year because I call it like I see it. And he's been terrible. He's been trash. But only I can say that. When someone else talks about my quarterback, oh, we going to have a few words. Regardless of whether or not you're right. You can't talk about my quarterback. Only I can talk about my quarterback. Only other Eagles fans can talk about the quarterback. But you are not allowed to. Anyway, so Brett Favre's on First Take, right? And he says that the Eagles, in his opinion, should have kept Nick Foles over Carson Wentz based solely on what he's done, what he did, right? So, okay, you look at this and you go, okay, Carson Wentz is struggling this year, right? We all know this. But the thing is, Nick Foles is also struggling. Honestly, he and Carson are in the same situation right now. They are, right? Because over in Chicago, they don't have a great offensive line. Besides Allen Robinson, who else do they have to throw to? And they don't have a running game. And because the defense is always on the field, they get tired out and points are being allowed, right? And so we know, us as Philadelphians, as Philadelphia Eagles fans, we know what Nick Foles needs to be, well, what we saw up to the highest level, right? He needs, so let's take a look back at 2017 season, even in the 2018 season. What happened? We had the O-line, we had the running game, we had the weapons. We even had the defense, a competent defense, right? So this whole notion of, oh, Nick Foles didn't have any pressure when uh he came in for the Eagles in 2017. That's simply not true because the Eagles were still the number one seed. The Eagles, you could say, oh, well, Nick Foles, he didn't really look good in the final couple of games of the season. And, Eagles fans were worried, me included. But when you, especially, when you get to each level in the playoffs, there's more and more expectations of, okay, you did this, you did just enough to win, and against the Falcons, you dominated the Minnesota Vikings, and you went blow for blow with Tom Brady. When your defense, that's pressure. When your defense is not performing and you have to go blow to blow with Tom Brady, don't tell me that there's no pressure because people are going to say, oh, well, it was Tom Brady. What did you expect? Oh, it was Bill Belichick. What did you expect? No, man, that's pressure. That's pressure. So people want to talk about, oh, well, whenever he has pressure, he doesn't perform. Really? What about in 2018 when he came back as the reigning, defending Super Bowl MVP? You don't think he had pressure in the first game of the season? In the first couple of games of the season, you don't think he had pressure? How about in the last couple of games when the Eagles were dead in the water and all of a sudden they were rejuvenized? This is the MVP of the Super Bowl, and the Eagles win the final four games. They beat Chicago. They're about to beat this New Orleans Saints. You can't tell me there's not pressure on Nick Foles. Of course there's pressure on him. So don't tell me that he didn't have pressure in those situations because he did, right? Nick Foles is a quarterback where things have to be perfect. He is that type of quarterback. He's not the type of quarterback that's going to help you overcome. He's not going to be the missing piece that you need, but he's also not going to be the guy that messes it up for you. He's not. The reason why the Eagles were rejuvenated in 2018 when he came back in the lineup after Wentz was injured was because the whole team knew, hey, we remember what he did for us last time he was in the lineup. We won the Super Bowl. Oh, we've got some light. We've got a tiny bit of hope. Remember, because if we lost one more game that season, we were done. So we had, and who did we have? We had the Rams. We had the Texans. Who else do we have? I believe it was just the Rams, the Texans, and am I missing somebody? I think it was just Washington after that. Yeah. And then obviously it was Chicago, and then, the New Orleans Saints game. And even in that game, we were up 14-0, and then what happened? Brandon Brooks goes down. The offensive line is not the same without Brandon Brooks, and thus the Eagles lose the game. But yet they were there in the end. They were there in the end. They were there to win it if Alshon doesn't drop the ball, right? So this whole notion of, Nick Foles can't perform under pressure, no, that's just simply not true. Because on the Super Bowl, that's the most greatest pressure of all. And he performed. The playoffs are where the pressure is on. And he has performed in the playoffs. So let's not act like, he's a garbage quarterback. He's not in a good situation in Chicago right now. They're not a good football team. Besides the defense, their offensive side of the ball is not good. They don't have an O-line, they don't have a running game, and they don't have any weapons outside of Allen Robinson. They don't. I'm sorry. So what do you expect this man to do? So that's that. But up until recently, because we are getting guys back, the Eagles didn't have a lot to work with either, which is why Carson feels that he has to put the load on his shoulder. But as we say with the defense, do the same with the offense. You know what you have in these guys. Stop trying to force things and just play to what they do. Okay? If we lose, we lose. Okay? We hate to lose. He hates to lose. But if you play to their strength, we're not going to get mad at John Hightower because he's not Deshaun Jackson. Because he's not Deshaun Jackson. We're not going to get mad if Travis Fulgham drops, let's say, a game-winning touchdown because he's not Alshon Jeffrey at his best. He's not. At least not yet. He's trending that way, but he's not. I think they say he's even a little bit bigger than Alshon. So this whole thing of, this needs to be ended, bro. Like, stop it, okay? If Nick Foles was in the Eagles situation, sure, maybe he doesn't turn the ball over as much. I don't know, because, again, we might be in the same situation. We really might be. I don't see how we have Nick Foles and we have a better record than what we have now. Is Nick Foles a smarter player? Yeah, he is. He's a smarter player than Carson because Carson will do things that you're like, why are you doing that? Where Nick Foles, he'll do what he has to do. He'll do what he can do with what the guys that he has. Maybe he doesn't have 12 interceptions. Maybe he has 3, He doesn't fumble as much as Carson either. So, there's that. So maybe we're a little better. Because you look at some of these games, and if Carson doesn't turn the ball over, like in Washington, like in Cincinnati, like with, I'll even go as far as say maybe the Pittsburgh game. Maybe that's 3 games right there. Maybe we're 4-3 right now, or 5-2, So maybe we're a little bit better because Nick Foles doesn't force things like Carson does, but I don't think we would be like way better than what we are right now, So let's kill that. This thing has been going on since Foles won us the Super Bowl. Okay, Foles has always been my guy, even before the Super Bowl. I loved him in 2013. He was my guy in 2014. I was upset when Chip Kelly let him go, especially for Sam Bradford. So when I heard he was coming back and he was going to be the backup for Carson, I was so happy. And obviously we know what he did in 17 and 18 and all that stuff like that. So, for you guys to say, he didn't do so good in Jacksonville. Well, remember, Jacksonville, he got hurt. in the first game. He got hurt, and when he came back, yeah, okay, he was terrible. But they thought they had something in Gardner Minshew, but turns out Gardner Minshew's trash too. Okay, so you didn't have, so that's the problem. And then in Chicago, I mean, look, you were 3-0 when you had Mitchell Trubisky. Okay, you were going to lose the game to Atlanta. Okay, Nick Foles comes in there, he saves the day. I think he's gone like 2-4 since then. So okay, look, okay. Again, he needs things to be perfect around him for him to operate. 2017, 2018, until Brooks got hurt, things were perfect enough around him. Except for 2018, we didn't really have a running game, But they were good enough to Nick Foles to juice up the team enough to where we would get to the playoffs and win a couple games and be within a hair's length of getting back to the NFC Championship game, but all that. So, this whole notion of Nick Foles a terrible quarterback, no, he's not. He's just one of those quarterbacks where he needs things to be perfect. And if they're not, he's not going to be able to deliver for you. But he's also he's not the sole reason why the Chicago Bears are losing. So let's not act like it. He's not the sole reason why the Jacksonville Jaguars suck, because he's not. So let's not act like that. Okay? As for the other thing, Doug Peterson, we all know Doug Peterson and Brett Favre are friends. So obviously when the question came up today to Doug in the press conference of, well, what do you think about what Brett said? He says that I respect his decision each of the 3 times. And I know Brett's your boy, but it's like, dude, come on now. You have to defend your quarterback. And maybe Peterson feels that way, Maybe he feels, oh, if we had kept Nick Foles, we would be in a better situation. I don't know. They're friends. They're boys. They talk, So maybe what you heard from Brett is what Doug said, But I don't know. But, Doug had a couple of times to defend Carson. Carson, like I said, hasn't been at his best this year. So for him, Doug, to come out and basically nonchalantly barely defend Carson is kind of concerning. But, it is what it is. Okay? Because Carson is not the sole reason we suck. Because, Doug, my brother, you get some blame for that too. Because I'm trying to figure out, just like what happened to 2017 went, what happened to 2017 Doug? What happened to these two? Maybe Frank Wright and John DeFilippo were the main reasons why the Eagles were successful like they were in 2017, but whatever. There's nothing we can do about that now. Okay? There's some things we can change for in the future, but there's nothing we can do about that now. Okay? So, enough about all that. Those are my thoughts on the situation. Let me know what your guys' thoughts on the situation is in the comment section down below. But now, we are back. We play the Giants this Sunday at their stadium in New Jersey. The Giants, the last couple of games, they have been pretty good. They played the Bucs all the way down to the wire, and, well, Daniel Jones always beats the Washington football team. So, I can't say it's impressive, but then again, we didn't beat the Washington football team this year, so I guess it is impressive. But everyone's saying this is not an easy game, and I agree. Because, like I said, Joe Judge, he has those guys fighting. He has those guys playing hard. They're just not talented enough. Talented like we are. They don't have name brands besides, what's that man's name? Golden Tate. They have Saquon, but he's gone. Maybe if they have Saquon, they're better. But, even when they had Saquon, they weren't good. So, but I just feel that, it's not going to be an easy game. Obviously the Giants probably feel robbed, because they should have won the game a couple weeks ago against us. And they should have, because we were terrible and we let them get back in the game. And, eventually winning streaks, I guess, come to an end because we did lose to the Washington football team after dominating them for like 3 years straight. We've been dominating the Giants for way longer than that. But, look, man, last time we lost the Giants was, 2016, I mean, you can look at the schedule. You always said, "Oh, we're gonna beat the Giants at least." Dallas and Washington were the ones who were like, "Eh," but you always knew you were gonna beat the Giants. At least I always knew that. So, um, it's gonna be a battle, but at the end of the day, we are getting guys back. We are getting more healthier. We're getting Miles Sanders back. We're getting Lane Johnson back. Sam Malu's back. Alshon's back. I think Craig James is back. So we're getting guys back. We're getting healthy. So it'll be interesting to see, what this team looks like when they're, I want to say like what, 90% healthy. Because obviously there are still a couple dudes out, but for the most part, we got pretty much everybody back. We get another game to see the trio of Ward, Rieger, and Fulgham. I'm excited about that. We get to see Dallas Goedert. We get to see Miles Sanders back. So I'm excited. I expect it to be a dogfight, but at the end of the day, Doug Peterson is the better coach. At the end of the day, Carson Wentz, if you want to say, is the better quarterback. Talent-wise, obviously, he's the better quarterback. Playing-wise, I mean, we're going to have to see. Is he still going to force some stuff? I don't know. That's what I really hope for. I really, honest to God, hope that he looked himself in the mirror and said, look, man, we got Rager back. We got Fulgham. We got Ward, all reliable. We got who we got. We got Dallas Goedert. We got Peters. We got Lane. We got Sayamalu. We got who we got. Okay? This is who we're riding with for the rest of the season, as long as we stay healthy. We got Alshon back. He's not getting the spot over Fulgham, but, we can bring him in those third down situations. We can bring him in on the red zone situation, so he will help in those situations. I just hope he looked himself in the mirror and was like, look, we got who we got. And the same thing for Doug. We got who we got. We got 2 winnable games coming up, and the Giants and the Browns. After that, it's Murder's Row. If we can get lucky and maybe win 2 of the 4 games, then we set. Run away with the NFC least. The Eagles are in position to win this game, to win this division, as terrible as it is, and host a playoff game. I'm actually hoping, speaking of Nick Foles, that we get to face the Bears in the playoffs, because Nick Foles has never faced against the Eagles. So I would love to see that. Carson versus Nick. I would love to see that. Because right now I think if the playoffs start today, we'd be facing the Bucks, and I'm like, ugh, I don't want to face the Bucks. I mean, I know Brady just looked bad, but we ain't the Saints, bro. We ain't the Saints, so let's not get it twisted. But look, man, we had your time to rest. It's time to get back to work. It's time to focus. It's time to do what we do. I expect a fight from the Giants because the Giants fight hard, but I'm picking the Eagles to win this game because they better win this game. This is another winnable game. You don't got that many winnable games. So you better win this game. You do not take the Giants lightly. You play like you played against Dallas, you will lose. You will lose. We should have lost the last time we played them. But you don't play like you're better than them, even though we are. You play up to the competition. Hey, this team has been on sort of a roll over the last couple games, even though they're 1-1. Look, we can do this. We can beat them. We're better than them. So I'm going to say the Eagles win this game. I'm going to say I think this will be the first time they dropped 30 this year. So I'm going to say the Eagles win 31-17. I say it's going to be close in the first half. Because, the Giants are going to come to play, but the Eagles are typically a second half team. So, especially in the fourth quarter, like we saw last time they faced each other. So, I'm going to say it's going to be close, in the first half, and then in the third quarter, and really in the fourth quarter. That's when talent and better coaching, hopefully, will rise up, and the Eagles, because at some point, Daniel Jones is going to turn the ball over. Although this year you can say the same thing about Carson Wentz. And we should put this game away. Put this game away. So I got the Eagles winning 31-17. Just go out there and get the job done. Please do not overreact. I really enjoyed this bye week, guys. I really did. I got to watch football, not have a heart attack, and just check out the rest of the league and see what they look like. I watched the Dallas Steelers game, and Dallas was looking good, man. I gotta admit, they was looking good, and they looked like they was gonna win that game for a second there. I watched the ending of the Bucks and Giants game. I watched, although I was a week earlier. I watched, what else did I watch? Bucks Saints, and I watched Patriots and Jets. So I watched those games, and I was like, okay, got to enjoy some football. Didn't have to have a heart attack, So I'd really like that to be the case with the Philadelphia Eagles, but it is the Philadelphia Eagles, so can only expect so much. But that's pretty much about it. So those are my thoughts on everything that's transpired. The NFC East report will be back this week. I was just taking a break from everything, so I didn't do the reports for the last 2 weeks, but I will be bringing them back this week, so you guys can look forward to that as well. But that's pretty much it. So please remember to rate, comment, and subscribe. Please share and like this video. Goal is still to reach 500 subscribers at the end of the year. So guys, come on, man. Those guys you were commenting in the comment section, please spread the word, guys. We're trying to get to 500 subscribers by the end of the year. I know we can do it, guys. Remember, I'm just a fan. Or like you, I would love to do, giveaways and interact with you guys and do live streams, but I need more people to do that, guys. I need more subscribers. So spread the word, get it out there. And that's pretty much it. So if you're not down with that, I've just got 3 words for you. Fly, Eagles, fly. Let's get this win. Let's get on the second half surge. Let's win this crappy division. Let's win some playoff time. And we get the Bears. Because, like I said, I think the Bears are the only chance we got to win in the playoff game. So we get the Bears, which is what I'm rooting for. Then we got a real good chance to win a playoff game. And then we in business. So, peace out.